Oh. Let's find out. Hold on. Okay, so let's see if this works a little better. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Alright. That looks better.
Oh. Damn you. Hold on, guys. This will take just a moment. Okay. Should be able to come in now. Okay, that's much better. And if I get it to sound the way I want it to, it might work a little better. Yeah, sorry, I'm having issue with my other microphone, the one that I get my audio recording on for capturing the audio whenever I'm talking, but I think it looks good now. Hopefully it looks good now, but we'll see whether or not it actually is worthwhile. So yeah, I think we're all good now. So yeah, I know. I'm sure you guys have missed me over the last couple of days. I know some of you really wanted me to keep streaming over the weekend, but I needed to catch up on some rest, especially knowing that poor little Alice here is one of the few people we can actually speak to who's in the Scions, because if you remember back to the previous story, we lost quite a lot of them by a mysterious force who decided to have his way with our minds. And in so doing, our numbers have been dwindled significantly. Certainly not a good thing to happen, especially as we're getting ever closer to the end of Stormblood's main story. So hey there, Samantha, Nate, Miguel, Lou, I'd Cabbage, Emily, and to everyone else that's logging on, we're glad to have you with us here tonight. So, greetings, people of the world. Matthew back with you here at Novaura Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Live. We're back here at the Rising Storms in Mordona with our Warrior of Light Corinne Loren as we begin patch 4.5's main story, Part 1. If you remember back to A Realm Reborn and to Heavensward, the last patch of an expansion in Final Fantasy XIV's main story is always broken up into two parts. Tonight, things are a little different because we're getting this, I'd say, a week early because of the fact that Heaven's Turn, the Chinese New Year event in Final Fantasy XIV, is still ongoing. And so, as a result, we're getting this a little early, but I would say after taking a look at this earlier today, before I went to work, I think it was definitely good that they gave this to us early, because from what I've seen so far, we certainly have a lot to look forward to. And speaking of which, we have a lot to look forward to in terms of information, hopefully, from Miss Alice. So, let's go ahead and speak with her to take on our first story quest for patch 4.5 entitled Soul Searching. Alice is at her wit's end.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
Oh no?
After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring.
Yeah, physical use is probably not gonna work.
Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Alphino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Yeah, perhaps our answer has come to us. Hey there, Kryl. It's been a while.
Kryl, I thought you busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Are you that willing to throw yourself into the danger that we find ourselves currently in?
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
Speech?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
Yeah, that sounds like him, alright. Hey Elizabeth, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. Yeah, Corinne's there like, what?
Well, that particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
He certainly has.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone.
Well, Corinne has never been alone in that aspect.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
I guess. Hey Sabrina, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us, and Ichigo
Right, I'd better have a look
as well.
at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
And so away she goes. And so, as Alice saying, Corinne, chill out for a while. And we take a look at the former members of the Crystal Braves who are still with us, chilling out as well. Yeah. Kryl comes with her assessments.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep.
Obviously not.
Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
Yes, she did.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes? If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Oh, that's going a while back.
I wasn't
Cindy
around
puts
for
a
that,
smile on her face.
but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So, I suggest we pay her a visit.
Yep, we're heading back into Heaven's Ward territory. And away the ladies go. So, off it is to a little place that they call Idleshire. Yeah, no lack of fun around here. And we'll see what happens as we make our way to visit a lady that we have not visited in some time. We gotta go back to the cave in the hinterlands where she chills out with her frogs and her enchanted brooms. In the driving rain, no less. But that's what we gotta do if we want to make our way to where we need to go. Yeah, not easy to ride on Kieran through a rainstorm, but it's gotta be done if we're gonna hopefully get some answers on what are we gonna do with the Scions being unconscious. Hey Yami, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. Ride the unicorn. Does Kieran necessarily count as a unicorn though? Because yeah, Kieran is certainly bright and shiny, but a unicorn? Yeah, as you can see, we gotta go chill out where all these other people are. Yeah, Alice is in there somewhere. I heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. And so, away she goes, and so do we. Double-barreled, huh? As we return to Matoya's cave. Yeah, we're back.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
We only come seeking your wisdom.
Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
We just came out of the rain. Way to rub it in.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
Well...
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
Yeah, let's explain the situation and why we need it to be used.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Yes, she is.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
That's the spirit. And now she goes to go and pick up her crystal eye. Sadly, it doesn't leave a glow when you get access to it. So now that we have it, let's see what we can get.
Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
And so as we gaze intently at Kral's efforts... Come on, Kral, you can do it. Uh-oh.
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryle, what did you see?
Yeah, tell us.
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Uh-oh.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
Yeah, Broodmother's daughter.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi affected her resurrection.
Yeah, that part. Gotta go a while back to remember that.
Let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
Yeah, where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
So is there anything we can do? Yeah, we're all looking pretty depressed, us ladies.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes?
Oh.
I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way.
Oh, what's going on over there now?
That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Yeah.
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Yeah, we gotta go. But before we do...
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I'd chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Yeah, and so Latoya uses her creepy hand to get the broom up and running again.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting at shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
And so now that we have our final words of wisdom, away we go. Hey Yami, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. So let's go ahead and speak with Alice to complete challenge number 1. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. If you want them, by all means. In the meantime, we'll take our 1,331 gil for completing challenge number 1. Stand strong and do not fight! As a fellow Azure Dragoon does a victory lap for us. But let's move on, as we move on to the next quest entitled A Defector's Tidings. The news from Alamigo has left Alice in a state of nervous excitement.
I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... There's no point speculating. Lise said she notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamigan Quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphinode's plight and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me.
Yeah, Carl's in there somewhere too. And once we get our assurance of some Kryl... Yeah, come on, Alice. We have got to get going. So on to the Alamigan Quarter we go. Oh, I did? You know, I'm just really into things right now because everything is so intense in this patch. Which you guys will see as we go along. Because, yeah, Maxima and his delegation have returned without Alphanode, obviously. So we have to wait for the gate guard to spawn. The resistance guard right here. Yeah, there you are.
Greetings, Scions. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in?
Yes, you may. Oh, hey there, Mira. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Well, there they are. And there's Maxima himself. Chilling out with Lisa and Raubon. Hey, you two.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Hello there
we
again.
meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
Me too.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events.
Yeah, give him a chance to do so.
Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians.
Yeah, you remember those guys, right?
This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Yeah, he's still out there
Well.
somewhere.
At least he's not lying in a heap in the burn.
Sigh of relief.
Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's Guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went. until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
Yes, indeed. Good thing we already know you
I'm
from
not
before.
inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you.
Go right
During the
ahead.
course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Uh-oh.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
That's not good.
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
What are we gonna
We've barely
do?
even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
And who
No,
knows how many they have.
They won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander. and see that the ensuing
Negotiations?
proceedings take as long as possible.
These are the Guardians we're talking about. You sure they're gonna want
Would
to
you
talk?
and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Yeah, you'll send word after you've re-experienced
Untold
this.
sorrow must
Remember
be
this as well?
changed.
What caused the Scions to start collapsing?
Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
And thankfully, Alice does not collapse.
You heard it too.
Of course she did.
Well, at least we're both still standing.
For now.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
If we can. Like, we both got mind raped again. So yeah, gotta talk with Alice again.
So, Alphino is safe. For the present, at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Lise tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave.
And we'll go ahead and hook up with them there. And so off we go to said Doman Enclave. Where not that long ago we helped to rebuild the place to 100% completion. And got to enjoy a wonderful ceremony once it was successful. Hey Karubi, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Yep, new contents just came out today. Gonna go speak with Hien himself in order to get what we need. So let's go ahead and speak with the guardsman.
I see you have tidings to Lord Hien. May I show you in?
By all means, please do. Yeah, so here's Hien, accompanied by Tansui of the Confederacy, a representative of the Kojin. Sirena of the Mole is, of course, here on behalf of the Aslim Steppe. But these guys are not people we're necessarily familiar with. An emissary from Nangsha and a Dalmascan Fusilier. What brings the two of you here?
The fall of Rabanasta was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground and have been gathering strength to mount a counteroffensive. Dalmasca will rise again.
And what about this Nangshan emissary?
I am come to represent the lands of Nangsha. Long have we struggled in the defiance of the Empire, just waiting for such an opportunity as this alliance presents.
And so now we got to know them a little bit more. Lord Hien?
Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance.
Yeah, of course, you already know these people.
The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the steppe tribes. We've also been joined by our neighbors from Nangsha and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Gallian Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength.
Yes, indeed, Laird Hien. Yeah, let's tell you why we need your strength.
I thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect that blow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn has been in place. The all-important Allegan energy barrier.
Yeah, that's right. That Ishtola helped to build.
Ah, the energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious, a name drawn from the four lords of legend. Perhaps Sirius Aegis or some such. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage.
Well, that's good.
Have you come to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Lazislav firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares.
Well, actually, it wasn't Karen who had that opportunity. But still, we'll come along.
I will come too if you don't mind. Though I am no Ishtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hokuro to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms.
And so we'll take our 2,823 gil for completing this challenge, plus choice of food. The only one that's going to help me here is the ginger salad because it has determination on it, and none of the other foodstuffs offer that, so this is what I'll take. Stand strong and unified! And so there we go. We have our first part of the story for this new patch brought out. And as we saw, Alpha Node is still out there, of course. Yeah, that's right, Elizabeth. It was him. Back in Heaven's Ward. Yeah, so when you change characters with every new expansion, of course, it can be kind of a weird thing to have a situation where you're talking to a character that's not exactly the same one as was the one who was actually there, but of course, passing on the mantle of Warrior of Light is still a thing for me, and that's of course what will happen when the next expansion comes out in the summer. Yeah, the process will continue to repeat itself. Primarily because I just will it that way. And so now that we know where we are going next, let's go ahead and speak with Lord Hien to take on our next challenge entitled Seiryu's Wall. Hien is eager to see the energy barrier in action.
We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce.
Then that's where we will go. Hien provides some final instructions to Yugiri and Hakuro, and away he and Alice headed off. So let's go ahead and join them there. Oops. Yeah, accidentally touched my control while I was looking at the chat. And thank you for offering there, Emily. But you unwittingly spoiled something. Should have waited until we reached that point. Yeah, because we're not there yet. Also, I think I'm beneath. Yep, I was beneath it. There you are.
Give the word when you're ready to take wing.
Head to the burn? Yes, we will. And so, the next day... So, this is what we've seen getting created by the people at Garland Ironworks.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend, Dorma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders.
Let's hope it works then.
Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Go for it, man, at the controls. Let's get this thing charged up. Yeah, it's situated at multiple points. And bang! That's quite a lot of light.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
And up it goes.
1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
Will it maintain stability? Because that thing is long and tall. But 4, it needs speed.
5,000! Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it!
That's quite a huge barrier. 5,000 yalms of altitude? Yeah, and as it turns out, our timing couldn't have been better.
Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wall for us.
Yeah. Will it hold or will it fail? The moment of truth has arrived. It works! Yeah, you ain't getting through here. Take your sorry ass back to Garlemald.
Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
Yeah, they just give up and set down. And I was hoping for a fireball too. Yeah, who's in there? Well, it's gonna be more familiar faces. And they come bearing the wrong kind of gift.
By the gods, it's Alphino.
Yes, it is.
What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
Yeah. We gotta take it down so soon? And what the heck happened to Alphino? He looked just fine when we were seeing them traversing through the unusual territory. He's in the possession of a Shadow Hunter.
The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
Know what that means?
No, not him too.
Yes, him too. Alphino's become just like the other scions. Out like a light.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions.
I guess so.
Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
This guy does seem to know who a lot of people are. And he does recognize when the aura of Warrior of Light and its title gets passed on from one person to the other. So, yeah. Who is this guy and how does he know who we are? And so, yeah. There was someone back in patch 4.3 when we were first introduced this Shadow Hunter who had a prediction on who this person was. And, yeah, when we switch over to Corinne, as we look into his eyes, we see a face that looks familiar. Yeah. Remember the leader of the Garlean Empire in A Realm Reborn? That's who he is.
Aye. Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
Yeah, I'll still take you on.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible! There's no way you could have survived.
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably remember all the wreckage that came crashing down on the guy. Including the ultimate weapon.
Do you remember how it unfolded? How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god.
That he did.
Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment, at least.
Yeah. Miraculous survival.
A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians.
By hiding in the middle of nowhere?
The Black Wolf has shed his pelt. never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Hebrea, whom I gather you have since ushered unto oblivion.
Actually, he got destroyed by the Archbishop, but hey, we'll take the credit.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
Yeah, it's gonna put that question
In
on
a
us.
single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the black-masked ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source.
Source?
Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group.
How did you know about
that?
that?
He was indeed a dangerous foe. His powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source. The first was La Hebrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus,
who we haven't seen in forever.
And the elusive Emmett Selk, about whom little is known.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Elidibus anyway?
We have files on La Hebrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmett Selk is new to us?
Yeah, I would say so.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Heideland's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention.
Yeah, that was shown off at the end of the last patch.
By Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Yeah, he never... If you remember, Gaius never wanted them to the people of Eorzea to be killed. He wanted to rule over all of them, and the more subjects he had, the better.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Well, I hope not.
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch. Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Xenos Galvus.
Yeah, Xenos, of course, still out there, causing a whole bunch of crap to take place.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
Yes, it is.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Cloning?
And what should we find in each and every incubator? but a young Emperor Solus.
Another thing that we learned at the end of the previous patch.
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland.
Yeah, as he looks into Corinne's eyes.
It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Corinne's been at that ready stance for a while. Yeah, what we say. There are more important matters at hand, or we'll settle this another time. Well, he does have a point.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods, even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
But how soon will it be? Yeah. How soon will we be once again crossing paths with Gaius?
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
And so away we go. But Corinne still has to look on as Gaius heads off. On the bright side, though, we can put the barrier back up again. Sadly, you won't get to see an encore of it going back up. And so, back at the Kian-Kan.
Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak.
Hey there, I say.
I spoke with the physician and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep from which he cannot be awoken. Just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alice, I do. But Alphino is returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Until then you can but fulfill your duties as a scion. Yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know that Seriu's war works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we'll send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who possess teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage for which the smaller vessels favoured by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Alderna Trading Company in finding suitable ships,
And it seems that someone cannot stop laughing and posting messages. I may have to block that person after I'm done. As for navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it's highly unlikely that our East London friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain that they will afford Alphonode a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Courage accompany him from every elm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. Yugiri, I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamigo, enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we hoped for. Least and the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Yeah, but we're not done as far as plot is concerned with this particular quest, at least not yet. Because back at the Black Rose chemical plants, yeah, the place where our friends Alphonode and the defected Gaius once were located, the Emperor has arrived. And he has a friend.
Our supplies of Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
That's not good.
See that you do.
Yeah. Pick up where they left off.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention.
Ah, yes. Solus reborn again.
A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
Yeah, sounds like a typical Garlean.
How very noble of you. Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
Okay, it seems that whoever this person is chatting with someone and it's not me. Okay, hold on. Give me a moment to fix this. No! Fixing a problem! Fixing a problem! Yeah, fixing a problem. Alright, where were we?
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect.
Oh, does it?
Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
Well, you do what, precisely?
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Other than be who he is?
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise.
What were
Our
those?
homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive?
About what?
You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed. Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way.
Yeah, get on out of here.
Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude. I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome.
Yeah, all those clones.
You dabbled in Allagan cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the Founding Father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus. Like grandsire, like grandson, hey?
Well, your family is pretty
If events
screw-loose.
play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise.
Oh, perish the thought.
You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
Yeah. Are you finally leaving now? As you laugh maniacally. Yeah, he's finally gone now. Yeah, let's take our 998 gil. Stand strong and unified. Yeah, my humble apologies for getting drawn into something I was not meant to be drawn into. I really don't know what they were discussing other than the fact that it was a bunch of people talking about Fortnite. And I don't know why they wanted to draw me into a conversation that had nothing to do with me. And can no one spell Corinne's name right? Am I the only person? Am I the only person who can spell Corinne's name right? That's new. Sticking an A in there? Sticking an A in there now? Because, yeah, everyone else misspells it with a double R. When her name has a double N. Come on, guys. She's only gonna be the Warrior of Light until the summer. At least spell her name right. Come on, at least spell her name right. She's been Warrior of Light for 2 years. Come on. Surely you should know how to spell her name right by now. Alright, it's time for us to move on to our next quest. So let's speak with Hien for the next challenge entitled Parley on the Front Lines. Hien stands ready to depart for Alamigo.
We must leave now to convene with Eosia's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Hakuro, I leave you in command.
My lord!
I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lys. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porto Praetoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting.
Agreed. Yeah. Parley on the front lines? Yeah. Is such a thing actually possible? Let's go to Porto Praetoria and find out. Let's go ahead and meet with our point of contact. Flying down to the bottom of the hill to meet with the resistance fighter. Hello there.
Oh, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters.
By all means. And so, sometime later, here's where they're based. Lots of logs to use as a fort. We have our cannons and any other weapons we may need. The grain companies are all present and accounted for. And Raban and Lisa are having their discussions. Hello, you two.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, while our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
Excellent. But yeah, at least catches Alisei stole in depression.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news...
Yeah, we have to tell you that he's now a victim of this problem that plagues the Scions.
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
Oh, yes, it does.
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal.
And you want to know the crazy thing? That seems pretty normal to me, too.
Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Hopefully. It is gas.
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Barissos Galvus would be attending.
Oh, really? Well, we did see his pick in the quest start.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varus did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
So true.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
And of course she means... Oh, she's afraid of Alistair.
God, Lise. You know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Yeah, and what good will the evil twin do?
Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Of course they did. Yeah, I'll be there.
That's settled then. We don't know what Varus means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand will make all the difference.
Yeah, give him at least an idea of what he's dealing with.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
So that's what we shall do.
Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an Emperor waiting too long, shall we?
Parley with the Emperor? Yes, I believe we will. But how is this gonna go exactly? I mean, we're dealing with a guy who all he wants to do is conquer everything. So there we all are, and yeah, even the leaders of the Alliance, the heads of state, are also present, including Sir Emmerich. And so yeah, here he comes. Hey there, Emperor. Is this going to be a worthwhile or a waste of time? Let's find out.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Gallian Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today.
Oh, hey Arnold, how are you doing?
As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue. Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
Yeah, that can't be too hard, can it?
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
Yeah, we know how that would go.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
Indeed.
The citizens of Dorma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
What say you?
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Yeah, always twisting stuff.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
Yeah, not exactly a way to live.
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Petulance? Who will be the next to try him?
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. A 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned.
Yes, indeed.
Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise.
Oh, really? That's the road you're taking?
You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it.
Isn't that what you're doing?
Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
By making a deal with the devil, pretty much.
Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people.
Clarity of vision?
There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
Rightfully yours?
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it. And from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers?
Ouch.
I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Yeah, the only one to have yet to speak.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty. Would that your people might learn from their example.
Got him laughing now.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
Did we expect anything less? Yeah, because he's pretty much rebuked each and every person here.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here.
Yeah. Are you that
Please.
unwilling?
If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Yeah. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Or will you not even take that?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
Yeah. And so he steps away for a while. So yeah, now we gotta speak with Alisaie after what just happened with this full rebuke.
This is really not my forte. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. I just asked myself what Alphinaud would have done, tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle it worked. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for Annie. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because it may be certain that it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene, though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share.
Yeah, so we gotta speak with 3 of them specifically, starting with Admiral Merlweb.
I will say one thing for this Varys. He is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies.
All shall know their enemies, yet there is much and more we do not know of the Empire. So yeah, what will you say? I'm sure Varus will be happy to tell you more, or then it's up to us to change that here and now. I don't know, could we actually convince him to give us an explanation?
You would have me ask the Emperor himself. Well, mayhap there's some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind.
And what does the Sultana have to say about this?
12 have mercy, but for Lady Alice's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiating table. Not that Emperor Varus left us a great many options. Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think?
Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind.
Exactly! He's building up to something, I know it! How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light?
Yeah, invite Varus to explain himself, or say nothing of Xenos or the Ascians. Yeah, we need to get the man himself to speak. Yeah, we don't want him to know what we already know.
You believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease? Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Corinne.
And finally over here, the two men chatting it out.
This parley was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varus' relationship with the Ascians. As had we all, yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact, and if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence. If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man. If you would indulge me, Lord Hien, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of His Radiance's own person.
What do we say? That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. Yes, it does. Yeah, we weren't gonna say nothing.
I share your disdain for their hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervent others reserve for the divine. 'Tis a common flaw to much of the doctrine that fed us, logical on the surface perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varus to reveal something.
And then turn back to Alice.
You spoke with everyone then? Good. Now that all remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor, and hope we fare better at the second attempt.
And so, take two. Mark it. And action.
Now then, who would have the floor?
Yeah.
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity.
He's done the same.
I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affair surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner.
And as such...
Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons. after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Yeah, why is he doing this? Yeah, why do you want it that bad? As moths are attracted to light.
Finally, you ask the right question.
Oh, so he did?
I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause.
Righteousness?
My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be. In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more.
Don't those words sound familiar? Yeah, as he looks at each and every one of us.
No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
Exactly.
I am talking about the origins of the star, of the source and its 13 reflections. At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother.
Yeah, look at the anger in my face, in Corinne's face.
You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures.
And what would those be?
To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much shocked.
A rejoining of worlds.
Yeah, what are you getting on?
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Yeah.
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
Yeah, let's hope not.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing.
Burden of choice?
But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
Yeah. Remember that information we got at the end of the previous patch? Yeah. He pretty much spills it all out for us.
What?
Yes. My grandsire, the former Emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
I don't know if you can define it that way, and no one here seems inclined to agree. Like, your prize is a lie, your masters are demons. Or, I'll stop you and the Assassins no matter the cost. Well, I think we need to go for the more conservative way of talking to him. Yeah, here's what I say about that.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Yours.
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate.
Yeah, that's how determined he is.
I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Yeah, no one's gonna accept that.
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left!
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
Yeah.
It is unthinkable. Unconscionable.
Yeah, and on the other side, yeah, we're all standing up now. And standing against you.
What is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together, that we might take fate into our own hands.
Into
what do you have
your
to say?
hands, perhaps.
Yeah, think back to the Warriors
But
of
what
Darkness.
of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
You mean you actually want to oppose them, but you're pretty much got a weird way of going about it.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler?
Yeah, are they really?
The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation. That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible.
That it is.
Such a man is not fit to govern.
Yeah, we can kill you right now if you want. Yeah, I could kill you right now if I wanted to.
Warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
Oh, you know it. Yeah. I cannot condone such a loss of life. No, I cannot. Yeah. We wholly reject you.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
Oh, yes, it is. So we're gonna have to keep fighting you then.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me.
Well, you're pretty disappointing too.
Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages.
And of course, yeah, he still thinks that too.
This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, we all go our separate ways. And so now that we've wasted a ton of time, Lise?
I came back to find Doma's advance party ready and waiting for battle, so as worrying our little chat with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive.
Yes, it did. So we'll go ahead and take something else. The tea, the salmon muffin, the shakshuka, or whatever it's called, or some money. But we're gonna go with the shakshuka. Stand strong and unified. And now, for the main event. Our next quest, and the last of Part 1 of Patch 4.5, entitled The Face of War. Having listened to Emperor Varus' maniacal plans, Lise is ready to go to war. So yeah, we're getting ready to fight for our lives.
I'm not sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still, at least we know now what he's really after.
Yes, indeed.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Doma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
Yes, we better be ready for it.
If the Gallians come in force, we may not have much say in the matter, even with our combined strength.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us.
Oh yeah.
But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
We must seize it, full stop.
No turning back.
Here.
Yeah, determination on our face.
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
Yeah, of course.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to count them on me. Not that they would. Not even my brother. But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
Frighten some Garleans. Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't want to be on their side.
Yeah, because we're coming
Might I
guns
ask
blazing.
you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
Sounds like we've got something to do.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it. I'll leave the front lines in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Raban. We've got you covered.
Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come.
Hey, Lucia.
May the crystal guide us to victory!
Yeah. Raise your arms, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and not just your arms, but also your arms. Yeah, each of the armies giving their respective troops the directions on what they're going to do. And so now it's time to go out and do it.
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphinaud wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it. It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started.
Well, you fought before.
I should be terrified. But with you at our side, I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right.
Well, we'll make that happen, Alice.
So please, don't you dare leave me alone.
Don't worry. Yeah, Corinne's shocked like, what?
No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
Yeah, just the two of us. Well, it's not just the two of them, but a lot more. Of course, we know what she means. So our quest is accepted, and now we finally have access to the final dungeon of Stormblood, the Gimlet Dark. Well, I say last because it's the last regular dungeon. Of course, there's a lot more than just this. There's, of course, the 24-player dungeon that also has to be taken into account. So, Corinne's all ready to go with an item level of 388, and in just a few moments, we will make our journey into a battle which we need to prevail in. Alright, before I head off, well, first of all, Emily wanted me to get her to join up with the party. On top of that, though, I do need to make a quick run to the washroom first and also get something to drink, so I will be back in a moment. And then we'll go ahead and do this. So, back in a moment. Alright, all set for departure. So I'm assuming Emily's all set to go. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on using the shakshuka and the ginger salad because I wanna use some of the stuff that I still have, and I still have a lot of stuff. Is it? But it does meet the item level? Because, yeah, that's the big question. It doesn't meet the item level, because, yeah, it's up at 360. And of course, we're not going to go in progress, because, yeah, it's the two of us going here. Alright, and so let's do this. And so we arrive at the Gimlet Dark, the last light party 4-player dungeon for Stormblood. And in the midst of all this, we have to fight against the soldiers of the Guardian Empire. And so there we are. Yeah, we'll even have Yugiri and Lord Hien accompanying us. Sure to be on our way. Well, apparently we have the Gold Wolf.
Leave this to me.
Yeah, lead us to the victory there, Emily. Watch out for the AoEs. Yeah, they have a unique color for AoE in this particular dungeon. Yeah, it starts turning red now. Yeah, just a new way that they're adding tricks, but one thing that's not a trick is the fact that I'm targeting allies instead of enemies. That's something that sadly has not gone away. Next
forward!
Round.
Forward!
And now dealing with some sky armor. We've seen sky armor in the past. Yeah, good job. You're not even aiming anywhere near where we are. Who's driving this thing? Hey, who's driving this flat umbrella? Alright, one Skarmour is down. Get the Predator, but not before we deal with the Skarmour first because, yeah, we were being targeted that time. Right, lead on. And beware of artillery fire. That is a warning worth taking into note. Because, yeah, we already saw some of the red-hot fire going on already. Take this, you dwarf's head of ugliness. And stay clear of the danger when needed. And knocks on you again. One dies as a result. And then jump in, get everyone else that way. Look out once again for the red circles. Spin through you to finish you off. Next round. Something coming from the right. Stuff jumping over the walls. There's also a gunship and also sky armor as well to contend with. Thankfully, everyone's lined up perfectly for me. Yeah, I did say red AoE was now a thing, but doesn't mean that they still don't use the old school colors as well for it. Into the air! Haha, I stunned you. Woo. Can't stun this though. So we'll just have to deal with it. here's Kogel. Alright. Big thing is down. Now let's finish off this sky armor. And there we go. Off to our first boss. Yeah, it's Magitech Colossus Mark 3B. And just like everything else here, he's gonna mean business. This guy's got a unique feature to him as far as how he does his AoE attacks, and it'll become apparent when we move further along that it's not just him who has such moves. The other bosses that we fight down the line will have similar things about them. See how the AoE is, but also how it's spinning like that? That means he has continuous AoE. And we have to run around and avoid what he just did there. So yeah, that's what this Mark 3B is capable of. Doing a fancy 360 progressive AoE. What he does, and it's definitely not the most unique thing we're gonna see here. But this time he's gonna switch directions. Now this is something that actually did not happen when I was doing my test run this morning. The Mark 3B always did his Magitech slash AoE in the exact same direction, always going counterclockwise. Once he's actually switched up his game plan and decided to go clockwise. But he also has stack mechs. Watch out for that. With a little of that. Yeah, so far so good from us. Another venting of ceruleum. We gotta scatter a little. Thankfully I am able to still keep attacking. Got another stack mech. Take care of the exhaust. Yeah, he's spreading it everywhere. Well, we've almost got him down. He's within 10%. Now, here's Kogonatsukan so that we can have a way to keep the Blood of the Dragon going. And then, boom! Hit you with Dragon Fire Dive to finish you off. Go ahead and play for the gear, which here is item level 375. Which is definitely a step up from what we got in St. Mosian's Arboretum and the Burn, which was 355. Oh crap, I ran into a wall! Never got the chance to get off another Nazgûl because I ran into a wall. Yeah, I was walking and I was like, that doesn't look like a wall. And yet somehow it is. They say, yes, that's a wall. Nice. Keeping down the big Magitech armor. Keep the line rolling. At least let me get one feint on someone. And onward we go as more stuff keeps collapsing. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you would swear you were at the hard mode of Grey Flux's Long Stop. That's how much wreckage there is in this place. Yeah, that is how much wreckage is in this place. Yeah. Are we fighting the Garlean Empire or are we fighting the Illuminati? That's down. So is that. And now it's time to drop into the heat of the battle.
Ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Pippin's here, Lisa's here. Let's go ahead and Dragonfire dive these guys. Yeah, you'll notice Yugiri and Kian are no longer with us. They broke off and went elsewhere. Yeah, now they're bringing out the heavy artillery. You gotta get this Avenger down first, though. Oh, being targeted. Yeah, I'm being targeted by the Scorpion specifically. Why am I not targeting anyone? Oh, crap. Like, what's wrong with my controller? And I was like, what's going on? Why can't I use my controller to attack something? That was scary. I would have been a sitting duck if I wasn't allowed to attack. Yeah, that would have just been the worst. I was like, why am I stopped attacking? I kept smashing the cancel button repeatedly to try and get something to change that. But nothing was going down. Oh, we're not finished yet. Oh yeah, we are. That thing's on our side. This thing isn't, though. The Prometheus. This guy is quite a bit of a troll. As we found out in my run this morning when I was playing to test this place out. Yeah, he likes to do that and then set a circle of fire. And that's the least of what he can do. Yeah, douse you in oil and then really set you on fire? Also within his capabilities. But that's not the worst bit. He digs underground too! And we have to find out where to go to ensure that we're safe. Yeah, bring that back. Yeah, that is something that he does, and it's quite painful. And if you stand in his line of fire for too long and suffer from the after effects, you die. I'm gonna try and douse this in oil yet again. Yeah, he loves a lot of... Oh, 26,000! Yeah, he likes to leave a lot of oil in his wake. But yes, 26,000. I'll take it. Yes, 26,000. Yeah, now he has squeezing missiles. Not only that, he's going to dive underground while they're getting shut off. And everyone has to run into the middle. And then we got to make a break for it because he casts then he emerges almost immediately after those missiles hit. That's how our party died on a couple of occasions this morning when I was testing. Because yeah, we were all focused on the mechanics with the freezing missiles that we didn't give ourselves much of a chance to escape from the danger of the Prometheus returning to the field of battle. Yeah, it's basically what happens with the Mist Dragon over in the Burn, except that it's on a much deadlier scale. It's on a far deadlier scale. Got something for myself that I get to take home as a souvenir from this. Hopefully I'll be able to take home more than just that. So now we hook up with... Yeah, not only is Cerameric here fighting, but so is the Elder Seedseer. Who would have ever thought you would see the Elder Seedseer actually in combat, given the pacifist that she is? Yeah, given how much more pacifist she is, her presence here in actual combat is a surprise. Yeah, even the other members of her party are also surprised at her presence. Yeah, this is so unexpected of you, Elder Seeds here. But maybe it's not all that much of a surprise because, as you remember, all the way back to A Realm Reborn, when Operation Archon commenced, the first nation to declare war against the Guardian Empire was not Garlemald, but Gridania was the first, and it was the Elder Seedseer herself who declared it. Well, take that elsewhere. Take that elsewhere. Keep on pounding away. Latch onto me for a boost there, Machinist. Alright, got what we needed. But yeah, that's not the only thing. They got more. More things are here to deal with us. Like this Hexadrone. And Emily wants to move it. Right over here with all these things. Help is on the way. Need some pip in return. Yeah, I'd say we're looking very much like a team right now. Yeah, Yugiri was here at the start. Oh, gotta get away from that. And there's no way to stun it. Once it starts, it does not stop. Oh, where are you going? Well, maybe over there. To do that. We gotta take down this Colossus. The biggest thing to worry about on the field right now. Unless it has to go down. And thus it does. Leaving us able to clean up after the scraps. But they're not done yet. Yeah, they still are bringing stuff. Yeah. The other Seedseer wants us to join her. She offers us a protective barrier. And as you see, we suffered negligible damage. That's why she's here. Well, thankfully I can avoid this. Well, I don't quite have it yet. Look out for that Grand Sword Strike. And now he's gonna try and blow himself up. We gotta do everything we can to stop it. Yeah.
Time to get serious!
Yeah. Least with Final Heaven. Yeah. Leave these soldiers to us. Let's partake as much as we can. Because we're about to reach the final field of battle. Now, if you guys have been paying close attention throughout the storyline of this patch so far, you might notice we have these two. They've been around for a while.
These savages bested our vanguard? Impressive. But in the end, they are only that. Savages. Now let us be brief. His radiance awaits.
Oh, no! 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 Emily, what are you doing? Yeah, so, yeah, anyway, as I was saying, we basically have to deal with the Wonder Twins. Anya and Julia. And they come with a whole slew of tricks. Yeah, they also fight in the way similar to that of La Habrea and his little friend from Heaven's Ward, whose name I can't remember because she was just that forgettable. Then again, I never could remember her name because, like I said, she's just not forgettable. Yeah, if someone can post in chat what her name was, like, please do. Oh, I'm targeted. I gotta take this elsewhere. Now let's go and beat up Anya some more. Yeah, gotta try to remember to get behind. Almost got Anya taken care of. However, yeah, you'll notice we're kind of in a bit of danger here. Oh! That was a bit of a knockback that was a bit dangerous. So yeah, Anya runs off. And then the Wonder Twins have this little bit of trickery to deal with. One runs off. The other goes off and does an X. Now watch the field. You're going to see little lines. You don't really see them that much, but they are there. That's basically a fancy little dash attack that you have to pay attention to the floor to, or else it's not going to be something that you're going to notice in time. So now we have to deal with Julia. Have a little love on me, guys. Yeah, they're going to come with a whole bunch of tricks for round 2. Including these things. Remember back to the Keeper of the Lake when we had to put up with this crap? In fact, I want to be over here where it's safe. Or not exactly. Yeah. Little space right here to be out of the danger. So we continue trying to avoid stuff like that. Now, I could double limit break here, but I'm not going to because we actually need this stuff for later. Yeah, she's giving the order. And she's not afraid to use it. Nice, get back in. Yeah, rolls. Weaken Julia enough. And so now that'll cause her to fall back. If you or they have witnessed this twice. Yeah, Wonder Twins come back. They're gonna do the fancy X with the lines across the field again. I have second wind. Whoa! Okay. I need healing now. I'm gonna need more than that. Yeah. Now that they both are on the field and they're both vulnerable, Mage Limit Break or Range Limit Break applies here. So beat them before they get their enraged timer down. Julia's down. Anya follows, and that's it. Sorry, ladies.
We have served our purpose. Come, we shall withdraw for now.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Flash our lights to get them out of there. And victory is ours. Yeah, sigh of relief. We have succeeded. And for me, it was not by much. It was not by much, because, yeah, trick play at the end almost got me beat and taken out. Yeah, we got what we were looking for. Yeah, and that is Emily in the Omega outfit. Yeah, whole thing. And even a fancy cross between a samurai katana and a longsword's boot. Yeah, I think it definitely matches perfectly with the aura look that she's going for. Well, now that we've seen what we needed to see and gone where we needed to go, let's get out of here. So, when the battle is won... Hey, guys.
There you are, and none the worse for wear.
Indeed. I had hoped we might do more to help, but there seems to be no one left to fight.
So does that mean?
A tactical withdrawal, perhaps?
Perhaps.
We should give chase. Finish them off while we have the chance.
Can we?
Imagine the other surprise when they wake to find the war already won.
Yeah, it would be great. And yet... Yeah, now of all times, while we did win the battle...
expunge all life. Only you can forestall the calamity. Throw wide the gates.
No! 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 Not... like...
Yeah. Alice trying to reach out to me. Come on, Alice, you can do it. No, she can't. Added to the list, and it just keeps growing.
Don't tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, of course, Corinne is, but...
Quickly! We must get her back to the encampment.
Yeah, not a moment to waste. Yeah, if you were thinking that Alice was well and truly going to be Alpha Node's replacement for a time during the story, think again. General. So the Guardians have been routed, have they? Well done. Though this exchange was no more than a test of our strength, like as not, they won't be taking any chances now that the Emperor has joined the fray. They want to take their time, whittle down our defenses. Still, with your help and that of our eastern allies, we've passed the first test. Our line is unbroken. As for Alice, well, she's in good hands over at the infirmary. Hey, Yugiri.
My lord, the Couragents have completed their examination of Mistress Alice, and it is as we feared. She is locked in a slumber without any outward calls.
Yeah.
It's just like the others. Damn it all.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, who would like to do a recap of how many Scions we have left who are still on their feet? If you answered 1, that's right. Only Kryl remains, because Lys is of course leading the Alamegan resistance, and Tataru is living it up in Kugane as a representative of the East Alderner Trading Company. Aye, the Guardians picked a fine time to come knocking. 5 Scions incapacitated, and with the enemy on our doorstep, I cannot spare the men to assist in the search for a cure. The best I can do is see to it that Alice is escorted safely back to the Rising Stones.
Yukiri and I would return to our encampment. The main contingent of our forces from the Far East is under sail, and all must be made ready for their arrival.
I'll not keep you then. And so... yeah, we'll see you two later. Judging by the Guardians' recent movements, or lack thereof, they won't be launching another offensive in the immediate future. You should return to the Rising Stones. Given the plight of your fellow Scions, I can understand if you feel on edge, but you'll be no good to anyone without rest. And so now it's up to us to complete this quest and the first patch of 4.5 by going all alone back to Mordona. Yeah, we gotta break the bad news to the former Crystal Braves that our casualty count among the Scions gets ever closer to being a full list. Someone is trying to live it up, but unfortunately, it's at the worst possible time. Yeah. The only person we can give word to is Hoary Boulder. Yeah. Remember him from back when we dueled him and Coltonay way back in patch 2.3? Dude, it's been a while since you and I had a conversation. Ah, Corinne, welcome home. Word has that you and Mr. Salise gave the Guardians quite a thrashing. Speaking of whom, where is Mr. Salise? I was certain she would have returned by now. Oh, she'll be returning, but not in the way you hope she would be. By the 12, not her too! Oker and I will ready the infirmary for her arrival. We will also need to send a message to Tataru post-haste. Would that I had something other than grim tidings to share with her. And with you too, for that matter. It grieves me to report that the Archon's condition remains unchanged. As we speak, Coltonay, Kral, and Master Matoya continue to explore every possible avenue. Alas, their efforts have yet to bear fruit. But all is not lost. You are still hale and whole after all. Though I suspect you must be tired from your journey. You should rest, my friend. Leave the worrying to us, for the time being at least. Yeah, thanks there, Hori. And so, patch 4.5 part 1 ends with us taking 5,000 gil and our tails between our legs. Yeah, no reason to be celebrating victory at the end of a quest, especially knowing what we know now. Yeah, staying strong and unified does not necessarily apply here. Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo, yeah, the fighting continues on unabated. And the soldiers offer us salutes to a man who we've seen before and know all too well. Remember the blonde hair? Yeah. There's Xenos, wearing what honestly looks like an even more imposing mask than before. And so, there it is. That's the end of part 1. And we'll obviously come back to speak with Hori in the spring for part 2. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, we know where we stand with the Scions of the 7th Dawn. It's down to Krile and Corinne. And there's no one else. Once Krile goes down, which at this point, since we pretty much lost every other Scion, I pretty much am fully expecting that we will lose Krile as well in part 2. Given the way everything's going, she's pretty much on borrowed time. Sad but true, and something we'll have to definitely expect for when we prepare ourselves for the next expansion, that the Warrior of Light will have literally no Scion to stand at their side. They'll pretty much be going it all by themselves. If there is anything we can take as solace, it's knowing that we can still help people out. We know that there'll be a Hildebrand mystery in patch 4.55 in part 2, Plus, on top of that, there's still the Four Lords storyline that's going to come to a close, as well as the final 24-man raid as part of the Ivalice Zodiac Brave story. That's still to come. And there's something else I also want to mention. I don't know if this is something I'm going to be able to do given my current situation with real life. But if it's possible, I might not be able to join you guys this weekend. I was originally planning to do the 24-man raid for all of you on the weekend. But news has come to my attention that something's going on where I would say not far from where I live in Canada, but where it is going on is a 7-hour drive away. And I don't know if I necessarily have the resources right now to do this. I do get a paycheck on Friday, and if it's enough, I am willing to do something really wild and crazy and head off 7 hours to drive to a place to go do something that is Final Fantasy XIV related. It is something that's Final Fantasy XIV related, and depending on what happens, I might get the chance to go and do this, even if I have to drive 7 hours to do it. So if that's the case, I might not be able to stream the 24-man raid for you guys this weekend. You may have to settle for waiting for it until next Tuesday. But if we get it, it will definitely be something I will be happy to show off to all of you guys, and I hope you'll enjoy and appreciate it. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to pull this off. I don't know if I'll be able to do what it is that I'm hopefully planning on doing. But if I can, I will definitely make sure that I share with you guys something that is great, wonderful, and amazing. And if it works out, it works out. And if I'm not able to do it, then I will do, as originally intended, the 24-man raid for the conclusion of the Ivalice Zodiac Brave story on this weekend. So, for now though, that is going to do it for Patch 4.5's main story, Part 1 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Live. I will be back with you guys tomorrow night to do some more streaming, as we'll get back to our regular Tales of Eorzea schedule. We'll have Mathia tomorrow and Corinne on Thursday, and then when the weekend rolls around, well, I'll just have to see if my paycheck will allow me to make a 7-hour drive to accomplish what I could possibly do, and it could very well be something amazing. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novaura Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.